There you go.
Okay, now we're live. Okay, there we go. Hey everyone, Carl Hovelson here along with Mark Shapeman and Judy Gunn and whoever else happens to pop on here. We're going to be talking about how to target your buyers for your business today. This has been a big thing that a big discussion has been going on, at least in our group lately, with a lot of the different things that we've been doing. And one of the things, I think it was covered last night. I actually missed the training after the hangout, or actually on Tuesday night with Mike Hobbs. And I'm not sure exactly what he covered. You were on it, Mark, so maybe you can.
Yeah, I can talk about it.
Talk a little bit about that.
And I did what he talked about. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So basically, this is what I see, and you know, I've been practicing this for a long time, but not to the extent I should have been. Okay. There's many different ways for people to be marketing on the internet. Groups and communities are very, very powerful if you do them properly. Okay. The one thing that I find that most people do on the internet when they go to groups or something like that, they go after the general niches, the work from home, the affiliate marketing, the mom and dads at work at home and stuff like that. They're going after the generic groups, okay, which literally you're going to get you 0 results in, okay, in most cases. The other thing that you're going to find in a lot of these groups are you're going to find the people that are looking to get involved in a business for the cheapest cost possible. Like, they don't want to put any kind of money down to build a business, you know. And we even find with some of the stuff that we do in our business, like we have in Empower Network, we have like a $7 14-day trial. Now that attracts a lot of people, but what happens after that 14-day trial is we find that, at least I do, and you know, quite a few others I'm sure, find that they drop out after that, because now at that point they have to make an actual commitment, right? And what we're attracting from all of these groups is you're attracting all the people that want one-time itty-bitty things like $18 one time, or $7 one time, or $10 one time, or something very, very minimal where they don't have to make any kind of commitment to it, and then they expect mass results from it, right? So this is the problem that we find on the internet, and it's becoming more and more of an actual reality that's happening. And what we need to do as marketers, and we need to, and David Wood talks about this quite a bit, but we need to get a little bit more in the demographic targeting, okay, of who our actual target market is. Now, what I do a lot in my marketing, like if I'm going to look for people online, what I tend to do is, you know, especially if I know what my products are, okay, I'm going to go into the Facebook groups, and you know what, I'm going to share my screen and just kind of show you an example of what I kind of do in these groups, okay, when I go to look for stuff. Okay, so here's my Facebook here. So when I'm going to go and search something, okay, I'm going to go and search, like in our particular business, we have different things. Like we've got Empower Network on one side, and we've got the new Project Titan, which is actually just a covert name. It's actually not the real name of the new company product launch, but we've got different products that are there. So if I'm going to go after people that are basically looking to find traffic, let's just do that. So I'm going to look for lead traffic. Okay, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to do search for leads and traffic. So here's a community, traffic, leads, and sales mastery. Leads and traffic sources. Okay, these kind of things. I want to be more specific to what I'm going to cater to. Okay, now if I was going to do, let's say, personal development, okay, so I could go in and do go even deeper than that. Okay, so there's lots of personal development groups that are in here. You could go into let's say, coach. Okay? And you're going to see different kinds. And these are the people you want to be targeting if that's what your target market is. Okay? So let's say we've got, like, give me an example of something that you would have gone through in the Empower Network products, whether it's Top Producer or whatever, Mark or Judy. Just give me an example of one of the videos that you watched in there and what they covered. And we'll do a search on that.
Closing strategies.
What's that?
Closing strategies.
Closing strategies, okay? So we'll go closing strategies. Okay? And see, we've got a couple in here. The power of closing strategies and that, there's a closed group right here. Okay? So this is consulting business services. I'm not sure what we'd find in there, but we could go there, take a look, and see what it brings up. Sorry, you'll have to join me later. What we could do is we could go in and look at some of the 000. Okay. So this one is a kind of not really a great.
You know what you can do is go phone closing for sales or something, or sales phone closing or something.
Let's do that. Sales. Whoops. Oops. Okay, how about
closing sales over the phone?
Sales closing techniques. Let's try that one.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't work, then we'll go closing. Okay, here's a closed group. Okay, so you know what? This is what I would do. Like, I will go to the group and I will look at to see what the members are, right? So I will look at all the members that are in here, and what I will do is I will go and I'll interact with some of them, right? So let's just click on this guy here. So I'm not a friend of his or anything, okay? So, you know, I would go in and I do a quick thing like saying...
It says that you've got 42 mutual friends.
Yep. Okay, so hi, Tom. I saw you... Oops. Saw you in a group. Is about what is it you do? So I'm just gonna build. Oops. Question mark didn't work. Okay, so I'm just gonna send it off as a thing, and this guy will get back to me, right? He's gonna come back because we're not connected as friends or anything, but he's gonna probably ask me, what group did you find me in, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'll have that listed here for when he responds. Now, he may respond while we're on this. I don't know. Okay. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just one of them. Like, we could go over to the community. I hope I don't bump me off if I do this. I better not do that. I'll go into LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn has a very similar thing too. It's got network connections. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Theirs works a little bit differently. Like, LinkedIn has communities as well. Like, we could go in and get into. I could go through the connections and find out, you know, what they're connected to, because a lot of them will tell what they're, you know, what businesses they're in, whatever that might be, right? So I can go through.
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of work in LinkedIn with my holistic coaching, and I've had a lot of people like my page, so I'm building relationships in there.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, LinkedIn's a little bit different. They want you to actually upgrade your account to get access to more stuff. Okay, and I understand that with them. LinkedIn is a business community, whereas Facebook is a social community. Okay, so it's a little bit different. You're dealing with all professionals, business professionals, and so forth on LinkedIn, whereas with Facebook, there's a mixture of everybody on there. It is a social community where LinkedIn is a business community. Okay, and on Google Plus, it's the same thing. You know, they've got their communities, but they're all divided into their different, just like Facebook has, except they run theirs a little bit differently. You're gonna find more business-like people in those communities. Like, I'm worried I'm going to dump myself off the Hangout when I do that, because I did that the last time, so I'm not going to go in there. But if you go into the communities, you can type in like personal development, or you could go in and do anything like sales related, sales techniques, whatever it is, and you're going to find these communities. And then when you go in them, you can join them, and then you can go in there and intermingle with the people, just kind of like what I did. Okay, it's kind of a groundbreaking thing where you just find out what they're going about, and in most cases, those people are going to get right into business with you right away. Okay, in those particular types of niches there. The one thing, I guess, the big thing I'm stressing is, you know, if you play around in groups and communities with people that are work from home, make money from home, that kind of stuff, you're going to be dealing with the people that are not going to want to put any kind of money into their business. They're going to want to have the basic and the smallest amount to go in there with the least amount of work to do. Okay? These are our lazy marketers, or what I call the tire kickers. Okay? You're going to deal with these, and when you're running, like especially with ours, with the $7 14-day trial that we have in Empower, I mean, I market mine a little bit differently than most people. I mean, I will go in there and I will tell people right up front, it's a $7 14-day trial, but you need to make a commitment on the 14th day. Okay? If you're prepared to do that, then fill out the form. If not, please don't fill it out. It's a waste of both our times. I tell people that right off the bat. Okay? Now, maybe that's a difference between getting 100 sign-ups a month versus 10 to 20 that I get. I don't know. But at least I'm weaning the people out. Okay? I'm weeding them out. I don't want look, I don't want to be wasting my time, just like I'm sure nobody else wants to be wasting their time as well, right? So the easier we can make things on all of us, the better, because you know, when you're looking, especially with Titan, you know, Titan has a fairly sizable price tag to it, but it's not the amount of money you can make, it's the amount of knowledge that it will give you for that. You cannot go anywhere and get that same knowledge and training for the price that we pay for Titan. There's no way. Okay? Look, I've gone to personal coaches. Okay? I know what coaches cost. Some of them cost an extraordinary amount of money. Some of them aren't even worth that. Okay? And that's the worst part. Okay? But regardless, if you go and you want to get coaching, one-on-one coaching, you're going to be looking at anywhere between, I'm going to guess, about $75 minimum to about $400 an hour. Okay? That's what the average coach charges. Okay? Now, some of them will charge maybe less than that. Maybe some of them will charge $30, $40. But personally, I spend more money on my coaching because I want to get the best of the knowledge I can possibly get. And I've paid up to $400 an hour for coaching. Okay, so I know that the cost is there. So, but you want to be looking to get engaged with those people that are willing to be paying that kind of money. So let's go to the panel. Okay, we got Trish Lee just came on, and Angela. Hi, Angela. Welcome.
Hi.
And so we'll start with Mark. Mark, we'll go across to Angela, and then we'll bounce back to Trish Lee. Okay. I just want to find out what your take was on the training the other night, because I missed that.
Yeah.
I was starving, had to go and eat. So.
Mike absolutely dropped the bomb. It was actually quite funny because when he first started going into it, he goes, yeah, I probably shouldn't even go into this. They're going to get mad at me for talking about techniques and nuts and bolts stuff on one of these trainings, but screw it. They put me up to doing this, so I'm going to go do it anyway, which was pretty funny. But no, what he was talking about was, you know, when people have small Facebook friend lists, or when they kind of blow through their warm market, how to go about developing more warm market. And so what he suggested doing was opening a Facebook fan page, and he set it up in a way that You do it for the minimal amount of money. You cater it to kind of a certain niche, and then and he set it up so that the promotion was just to get likes. That was really the whole idea, was just to get likes. You're not even necessarily trying to get them to click your website, which is great if they do that, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to just get the likes. And then once they get the likes, you actually now have a relationship with them, and you can go back and you can see all the people that liked your page. Now, he did warn, and I'll put this out there for anybody that's watching this, he said, don't go and try to friend those people because Facebook will shut you down. That'll put you in Facebook jail. But he said you're absolutely fine going ahead and messaging them. And so what I've been doing, that night, I'm a man of action. That night, I put together a brand new Facebook fan page, and I did that. And my previous one was, Mark the Motivation Dealer. That's my sort of tagline, and it's all about motivation. This one, I did the single dad thing, and I posted pictures of my kids, and I put motivational quotes about single parenting, and I went back and I looked at who liked my page, and I contacted them, and I wrote messages like, hey, I really want to, say thank you for checking out my new Facebook fan page. What did you think? I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to connect. And then, you follow up with them when they contact you. So it's a great way, rather than just Facebook friending someone that you just don't know and you have no relationship with, now you've automatically built rapport because they know all about you because they've looked at your Facebook fan page. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. I mean, Mike is a god. He really is. He's a smart guy. And this was a great way to develop warm market. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, awesome. So I don't know much about this, so I'm going to have to look more into it. I got to see if I can find a recording of that, so I can watch that, because I don't know much about the fan page stuff. I tried that, and I just I still got to get my head around it and do it. But you're right, it's smart because now he's forcing engagement with him from people that are interested, right? And this is the target audience you want to get. Right? This is the biggest problem with most marketers online. They're not targeting their audience, okay? Which is getting us, a lot of people opting into our pages that are just not interested in what we're doing, okay? They do it because of curiosity, not because of something they want to change, okay? So Judy, let's go over to you. Let's get your thoughts on, what you've learned from that training and so forth.
I watched the replay on it and I thought it was really good. I've got my normal Facebook page and I've got the business one, and I've done some paid advertising through the business one, and it didn't go that well, but it was a learning curve for me, and I've been reading up all the directions on the Facebook business page, and I've been sending emails off to them saying, what can you do, and are you allowed to do this, and are you allowed to do that? So I'm building up a relationship with them, and I'm finding that I post about 8 personal development things on there, and then I can do 3 business ones. So I just make sure I do that every day on the business side, and I've spent a little bit of money on the advertising, but I don't think I've got it right. So I'm just sort of going backwards and forwards to them saying, which is the best way to do it, and I spent this much money and I did it for a week, and this is the stats, and that's not really good. So they've been giving me pointers. So yeah, that's a learning curve, but it was very good training. And I thought about starting up another page, but I thought, I've got 2 to worry about now, and I've got Instagram and Twitter, and it's too much. So I'm just going to stay with the others. I don't want to add another one on just yet.
Well,
it's a good idea.
It's a matter of just scheduling yourself, okay? Because that's kind of what I do. Like, when with these accountability groups, especially like the one I'm in, we actually have a daily accountability chart that we go on, and we have a list of what we need to do every single day. And
yeah, we have that. Yeah.
Okay, so basically all you need to do is just follow that and make sure that you can do that every day. Each process does not take that much long, that long at all. I mean, to do a post in a on a page. If you got 3 pages, takes you 2 to 3 minutes a post. In most cases, right?
Well, and Carl, one thing on that Facebook fan page, I set it up and I put some posts on there, but I'm not posting on there every day because that's not real. You're not really trying to develop a repeat audience. You're trying to develop a very short, warm, communication with someone, and then ultimately try to friend them or message them. And I don't think you have to post to that very often. I'm not planning on it. Maybe once a week I'll put 4 or 5 things on there and then move on, because I'm not trying to get those people back and back and back and back and back and watching me all the time. It's really just new people all the time to get more warm market. So I think at least with this, bless you, I think with this, you don't. I don't think you have to post as frequently as you would on a traditional Facebook fan page.
Okay.
For this
well,
purpose,
because I'm all about, like in my head, I think about the ranking, okay, and going through, and when content stops, ranking stops. Okay, so we'll look into that. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't want to say yes or no or wrong or right with it, but I will look into that a little bit further. I mean, we got good training with Justin Berengi as well, and we've got this kind of stuff. And if you guys got that replay link for that, if you could private message me that on Skype or something, because I'd like to go and see that because I missed it on Tuesday night. Let's go over to Angela. Angela, what are your thoughts? I'm not sure if you were on the training at all that was on Tuesday night, the one I missed, but your feedback on target audience.
Yeah. Well, I did miss it also, and I was working, and then I watched a little bit of it last night, and then I was going to finish watching it today, and I couldn't get on. So I don't know what's wrong with the link, but I'm going to try it again. But I didn't get to watch much of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hopefully they haven't turfed it off of there. Sometimes,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, otherwise, I'll have to wait until they put it in the back office.
Yeah.
Which will be after the launch, I think, or something.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay. So, what are your thoughts now? Like, what are you doing right now for your targeting? On social media, are you targeting your audience, or are you kind of doing like what everybody else is doing, going into the work from home groups and all that kind of stuff? How are you targeting your audience?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot on Instagram, trying to build up Instagram. So I'm doing target audience from work from home, other internet marketing groups. So I've been busy. I live in the Virgin Islands, and I've been working like crazy. So I'm trying to get back on board. I'm quitting my job on the 31st, so I can get more focus. But I've been mostly, just my Facebook, my personal. I've been trying to do some of that, and then also Instagram.
Okay, so the audience that you're targeting, is it responsive? Like, are you getting good response from it? This is where I guess we're going with this. We're trying to figure out what people are doing and what kind of target audience they're doing and the results that they're getting back. Because a lot of people are not getting results, and that's because when people find out the price or whatever, that turns them off. And I'm going to get into that in a second after we get through Tricia Lee. So.
Yeah. Not so much. I'm getting a few leads, but not so much as of results with that yet.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about this in a bit. So Tricia Lee, let's go over to you. Your thoughts on your target marketing that you're doing right now, and I don't know if you saw the training on Tuesday night. I did miss it. So.
Well, I have a lot of stuff going on. I got different projects going on, but I did start a hangout after the top producer formula. I got to attend that live, and in that, if you listen to the training, he talks about doing the hangouts. So I've been doing bi-weekly hangouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Mondays and Thursdays, with the call to action to go to Empower, because I don't want to sell people on Empower. I don't know how to do that. But our target audience is kind of budding inventors, budding entrepreneurs, and we just talk about any kind of new technology that comes out, and then we, between us, kind of brainstorm potential businesses that could spring out of the new technologies. Tonight we're going to be talking about 3D printed housing. So they're actually using 3D printers to create houses for people, and so we spend an hour talking about whatever given topic that we have, and then the call to action is to go to the Empower trainings. And we, like I said, we started the Hangout after the top producer formula was created, and we did it for a few months, and I didn't really see any results, so we discontinued it for a while. And then when I went back to my YouTube channel, I saw that some of those Hangouts had over 20,000 views. So I was like, we got to start doing this again. And I've actually been able to attract some of the people to join us on the Hangout, but they're not even in Empower. They may eventually, if they're interested, but they're not taking action on it. But I have a custom WordPress site that's got the cookie to ID equals, so potentially other Empower Network people could promote and join us on the Hangout, but thus far I haven't had a lot of people join us. And as far as like the views, it's like cool to know that people are watching, but they haven't converted to leads or sales as of yet.
Okay, you have me a bit concerned when you said you don't know how to promote Empower. And
no, I don't want to sell Empower. I leave that to the Empower Hour or to All Access or Titan.
Okay, so you personally don't. Okay, so you personally don't go out and promote Empower at all.
Oh, I do. I promote all the calls to like my Facebook friends and stuff. Okay. But the Hangout is bridge marketing. It's complete bridge marketing.
Okay, no.
Totally not.
I guess I misunderstood what that was. Yeah, you know, if you're doing something totally different on there, you want to be doing it on there. I was just hearing I don't promote Empower, and I'm thinking, so it's just not on the Hangouts you don't promote it. So that's cool. Okay, so now I got that through my head.
But the call to action at the end is to go where can be sold on Empower by people that have the social.
So that's cool. At least you have that call to action. So that's the main thing. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about target audiences for a sec, because again, what we're finding, even with my personal team, I'm finding that a lot of them are going after the general marketplace, and the general marketplace is literally not our target. Okay, so I'm talking about work from home. I'm talking in general, a general marketplace, work from home, affiliate marketing, that sort of stuff. You've got to go after a specific niche within that. Okay, so not so general. So in our case, in Empower Network, what we would be wanting to target are people that are looking for, like we did an example, closing sales, how to become a mass influencer, that sort of thing. So you want to be a lot more specific to get into there, because when you get more specific and you start going after these are the people that are looking to mindset. That's another one, mindset. Okay, you want to be looking at, because these are the people that will invest money in mindset, personal development, that sort of stuff. Okay, they know that there's a cost for that, and they're willing to pay for that. Okay, and Empower Network basically in whole is all part of that. It's a mindset, personal development, marketing, strategic training. Okay, these are like the three niches that we are in, and if we target those, you're going to find the people who are actually going to buy your products and upgrade to all the other products. Okay, then we have the other niche, and again, I can't really talk directly on what those are because under NDA, but we know the type of products like list building and stuff like that. These are all the different kinds of things, paid traffic, traffic leads and sales conversion, that sort of stuff. These are the more specific niches that we need to be targeting. Okay, like when I talk to my team, a lot of them are going after the basic work from home. The people that are in work from home, and I mean, if you go to any work from home group and you go through there and you scroll through there, what you're going to find in there are people saying, do you have anything for free? Do you have anything for $7? Do you have anything for $5? Do you have anything for $10? Right? These are the people that hang out in there, and those are the people that just don't qualify for your business. They don't. These are the people that are going to come in and take your 14-day trial for $7 and then leave right after that. That's all they're going to do. Because they're coming in hoping that they're going to make $100,000 in 14 days off of $7. Just like everybody else amongst all these other things out there. You know? Oh, come and make $492,697 and it only costs you $18 to get in. That's it, one time.
And you do no work and it falls out of the sky.
Yeah. Oh, don't do any work. We're going to do all the work for you. We're going to put you in a rotator, and the rotator is going to do all the work. For the first 5 days that the company starts, yes. After that, no.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it is.
They think they're going to put you in that booth with all the money flying around. You're going to just grab it all.
if you notice today, all these new programs that are coming up, I mean, you got all kinds. You got like the Rev Shares, and you've got the Cyclers, and you've got all that kind of stuff coming up where everybody's saying, hey, get in, we're going to go on the Cycler, you know, we're going to piff your way in, pay it forward, we're going to do all this kind of stuff. They're going to say anything they possibly can to get the money out of your wallet or purse and into their bank account. Okay? That's just how this medieval world of marketing is working now. Okay? It's evil. Take the mid out of there. It's evil the way they market now, right? Because it's so deceiving and deceitful. The way that people market today, it's pathetic, actually, right? So for what we need to do is we need to get away from that, because these are the people that I know some people are going, well, I just want to get the $7. I want to get $7 and become boss. Well, good luck on whatever happens the next month. Because you're going to have to, you know, you're going to have nothing there to build on at that point, right? And this is the issue with almost every business, is that the fallout rate is very, very fast in most businesses unless you can make sure that you plug people in. This is the other thing that we lack on, okay? When you're going to find these targeted buyers, these ones that we're looking for in all these unique niches, these are the people that are willing and hungry to work. But you also got to make sure that you plug them in immediately into everything, okay? So, like some of you, like Mark and Judy and them, you have your pages, and then maybe Trista, you do too. You have your fan pages, so you plug them into that. You plug them into all of the Skype groups that you can, okay? If you have your own personal Skype group for your own team, you know, do that. That's what I have, okay? I plug everybody into that, and then I plug them into the team stuff. Then I plug them into the team Facebook stuff. I plug them into so much stuff that there's no way they can come back to me and say, I don't have any information. I don't know how to market. There's no way they could say that. It's impossible. I plug them into Team Consistency site. It's impossible for anybody to tell me that it can't be done, right? So these people that we target on our targeted buyers list, okay, in these targeted niches, these are the people that are going to come in. Maybe they'll come in at the $7. A lot of them will just say, screw the $7, just let me know what I got to pay to get in, right? You know, I had one lady, everybody knows her, Christina, right? She came in, she saw the value, and went all in within about 4 days, right? She just saw everything and just, that's it, I bought it. When Titan came out, she bought it, right? Right away, right?
It took me 3 days, Carl.
You see? That's what I mean. But see, when you're targeting the right people, okay? Now this goes for solo ads too. That's why it's so important. Like, you know, with the solo ad providers we have, we've spent lots of money. I know Alex has spent like over $250,000 or more on a couple of the ones that he uses that have helped him become, you know, a millionaire, right? So these are proven resources that he has. I've got some that I've spent well over $10,000 testing, right? That I know are proven, that give me results. So, you know, when you're given the right solo ad providers and stuff too, I mean, this is why we say, you know, don't just go out and try any solo ad just because maybe they're cheap, you know, they're going to work. Some of them that are cheap out there just don't work. I fortunately found a couple that are fairly inexpensive. I won't say they're cheap, but they're inexpensive compared to some others, and they work. But it cost me a lot of money to find these people. Okay? It's not like I found them the very first time and they were a jackpot, right? It takes time for us, trial and error, to go through this. This is why it's the saying is there, it takes money to make money, okay, in everything that you do. And until that becomes reality with you, your thinking is not going to be in the right pattern either. So when you're going in and looking for your targeted buyers, if your thinking is not in the right thought pattern, you're going to attract the wrong people. Okay? So, thanks, Judy. Yeah, I made Boss Maker bronze today, so thanks.
Alex just posted it.
Yeah. So I'm my latest program now. Got 15 more days to get her done, or whatever it is, 12 days. So, but the thing is, we all gotta be focusing and have the right mindset too, because sometimes when you're doing your advertising, some people will be the way they put their wording can be desperate too. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've seen some of that out there, where you see some of the desperate marketing. Oh, I'll pay your way in. I'll get this. That's desperate marketing. That's because they can't find anybody who will pay their own way in. Now they're going to say, I'll pay your way in. Why would you do that? You know, I did that for years, and it was the worst mistake I ever made. I paid a lot of people into business, cost me tons and tons of money, and I never got anything out of it. That's why when someone comes to me and says, you know, can you borrow me some money? No. And you know, the one guy I have to take my hat off to that had really taught me this was Alex. You know, I'll be honest with you. You know, I was so. You remember that time I told you that story where I lost the $9,000 there, and I needed to get. I went to Alex and I go, Alex, you just made $9,000 off me. Can you borrow me $3,500 of that, and then you're just going to get it right back? And he goes, sorry, man, my credit card's full. I can't do it. My credit card's full. I can't do it. Right? I knew his credit card wasn't full, but the thing is that he made me go and find it, and I did. I went and found the money because I didn't want to lose another $3,000 commission. Right? So when we tell people you can go out there and find it, you can. I found it in 24 hours. Okay? So I was that desperate because I didn't want another $3,000 reminder coming in that I just paid him another $3,000, right? So it's a matter of the people that you find. Like Alex found me. I bought all the products because he told me how important it was. I knew how important it was. When I lost sales, I really knew how important it was because other people were buying it, right? So it drove me to go and get those products. This is a targeted buyer. I was a targeted buyer. Mark was a targeted buyer. Judy was a targeted buyer. Trishley was a targeted buyer. Okay? We all came in and we bought the products because we knew the value of it. So the only way you're going to find these people is by going after exactly where they're sitting. And Alex knew exactly where I was sitting. Okay? See, the other thing that you can do is, you know, when you're on social media, and you know, Michael Martin talks about this on about his Twitter training. You know, they go in, and David Weber as well. You go in and you follow these people who have huge followings, okay? They have huge followings for a reason, okay? When someone has a following of 40, 50, 60, 100,000, they're providing all the right information that those people want. Those are targeted buyers. So that's how you can tap into things. When you're going in and you're looking online for these people, you can find them in Facebook, you can find them in any social media. They're there. Find out who they're following. Find out who the popularity is. Once you find that popularity, then you tap into it. Does this make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Any comments?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it's and what I find is you have to interact. Like, I've actually gotten a lot more traction off of Facebook than any of my other social media platforms, simply because the others are sort of like posts that just go out and they're rather innocuous. You don't, you know, you don't see me, you don't know for me, other than you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Facebook, there's a lot of direct communication, and I think short of getting involved with the direct communication in these other platforms, they're not going to be as effective. That's why I've certainly focused my attention on Facebook. And one of the things that Mike talked about as well on the thing was you know, nobody's going to just jump at an awesome business opportunity. They're just not going to buy into it. They're not going to believe it. They don't know who you are. And creating that warm market is key. And the only way you do that, not just by friending someone on Facebook, you have to talk to them. You have to spend some time. And even though it's a little bit time consuming, you've got to develop rapport with people. And then, as we all know, people follow people. They don't follow business opportunities. So once you've developed that rapport with people, then they'll listen to what you're saying. I was going about it a little bit wrong in the beginning. I started shooting out, Carl and I talked about creating videos, and I was shooting those out to people that I never had one sentence of communication with prior, and most of those, I got some people that were interested, but a lot of those just sat and nothing happened with them. All it takes is 5 or 10 minutes of communicating with someone, asking them about themselves, telling them a little bit about yourself, and then you shoot them that exact same video. Now all of a sudden they're interested, and they're like, "Whoa, what is this? This seems this seems cool." Whereas otherwise you're just a spammer.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I've been doing a couple of videos here in the last little bit, and it's some of the reaction I had back. And I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because with me, I'm a lot more business first than anything, and I think that might have harmed a little bit of my development for building a big fast team in Project Titan, because I didn't take the time. And I think, like you said, your very first video going out to anybody should be just, hey, just following up with you, just connecting to let you know who I am and that sort of thing. Just kind of break the ice, let them know who you are, and at that point, and not even anything about business in your first point of contact. And I've always used to be like that, and then all of a sudden I've gone more to the business approach, and I think that might have even hurt me a little bit, right?
Well, and Carl, that may have been effective in Empower, but for Titan and the way that we've got to market Titan, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I think in Titan you need to be more personal.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I'm going to be changing my video, because I was looking at that today, and I was sending out some of those, and I had some comments coming back saying, maybe we should have had a conversation first. And I'm thinking, you're right. I think we should have.
And you know what, Carl? I don't send a video. I just chit chat via the text in the Facebook Messenger, and once I've developed a little bit of rapport, then I send them that same Facebook message that we were sending before. But yeah, no business discussion really until we've gotten a little bit of rapport, and then I usually ask them. I say, hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living? And they might, tell me whatever it is they're doing, and then I'll follow up with something like, hey, does that get you everything that you want? Is that something that you really truly enjoy? Is it something that you feel fulfilled with? Does it make you the kind of money you want to make? And then from there, I bridge it in and I send them my video.
Yeah.
So
this is something that's going to take a few conversations, I think, over the thing. Again, I think personally, I probably jumped out the gate a little bit fast on this myself. And it's not like, if we don't get anybody in by midnight tomorrow, it's not like the game is over, right?
Right.
For them it is, because they're going to be paying more. But even though that the price is going to go up, we're going to be selling that thing at whatever that price is. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is because of the value, but it's building that rapport. And when we talk about this, just so everybody's listening, when we're talking about building a rapport with people and stuff like that off the start, it's not about talking about what color are the roses in your backyard or anything like that. It's basically what I would call like a new neighbor approach. You just go and you introduce yourself, let people know who you are, that sort of thing. Maybe what you could offer, that sort of thing, and let it go from there, because a conversation will take whatever turn it does, back and forth. Now, you could go through, with me, I don't like to text much, okay? I try to avoid texting, but, something that I would probably do is maybe, just put a quick text saying, you know, hey, it's Carl. We haven't really connected. Just wanted to formally introduce myself, and then I'll send an audio, right?
Mhm.
Just kind of just doing that, and then afterwards you could put in something saying, you know, just to let you know who I am. I'm a real person. Here's a video, right? I just send a quick little video. Poof.
Well,
Just
here's
something
something
like
that
that.
Mike talked about on the webinar was, you know, when you friend someone new or they reach out to you for the first time, go and look at their profile and find things that you have in common. Oh, I see that you're from, you know, actually I reached out to someone last night and one person was from New Jersey and the other one was living in New York, even though they were from somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, hey, I'm from New York originally. And you just look for that commonality that you have with someone that just breaks the ice and gets you talking. And looking at the personal profile shows that you care about them. You took the time to actually look at their profile instead of you're just firing off 8,000 messages.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
a really
I mean,
powerful
I do
key.
that with every single person. Like when people go to friend me, the first thing I do is I go to their profile
Mm-hmm.
to find out what kind of commonality we have between us. You know, if I see nothing,
Mm-hmm.
then I really don't friend them. I just,
Right.
you know, I just don't accept the friend request, right? There's got to be a commonality, and you're right. That is something we should be doing a little bit more, and I should know a little bit more about this too because, you know, I've been talked about this in all my career in the last 4 or 5 years, you know, with some of my mentors saying, you know, you should be doing this. Like Darren Little, I don't know if any of you met Darren Little when he was at the Nashville event there. He was the guy with the white fedora. So I don't know if any of you saw him there. But Darren Little is a good friend of mine. He lives in Vancouver, BC. And, you know, he was a big part of me losing my ego. But he's also a guy who's put my mindset thinking to, you know, how I need to, you know, build those kind of relationships. I mean, he was a big part of my thing. He's in power, and I've known him in other things as well. But, you know, you got the Mike Hobbs. Again, you know, Mike, I've listened to Mike on a lot because I'm part of his channel and stuff like that, so I listen to a lot of his stuff there. I listen to a lot of Dee and Justin's stuff as well. And I was just watching Paul Hutchins' stuff the other day. And, you know, everybody has a little bit of knowledge in a little bit of different areas that, you know, this is why I'm so in love with this company here, because we have such a diverse amount of education in different formats and different varieties that just make doing this business so much easier. But some of us, including myself, you know, there's still that little bit of ego that just thinks that I can do things a little bit better, and I have to kind of go backwards a little bit. Well, it's funny, it is, because every time I tend to do that, and I tend to go my egotistical way, right, is when things start to go wrong, and then I have to come back, right?
Well, this is exactly what Mike Martin was talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Being obedient to the system, just
Yeah.
doing what it is you know you're supposed to be doing, and don't think you can necessarily do it better.
Yeah.
You know, this is tried and true. It's proven. You know, just do what they tell you to do.
And you know, I've been guilty of that myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure everybody has in some point in way. But you know, you learn these things because all of a sudden, as you're doing them and things aren't working, and things are kicking and saying, man, they're just not working this way. I better go back to the other way. And as soon as you go back to the other way, it starts to work. And it's like, you know, like my story. I came in, I made money, I left, I went broke. Came back in, make money. You know, you got to learn from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with development of your audience. It's the same thing. So I'm kind of glad we went a little bit there. I know we kind of got off topic, but this kind of all blends into the same thing. So I really appreciate everybody's feedback that's on here. Any of you got any other feedback?
I'd just like to add something, if I may. I've spent many years in sales and working for myself with commission only and doing lots and lots of personal development. And I worked mostly in the corporate sector. The bigger sales tickets were what I went after because it was, I found it easier. But before I approached anybody, I learned a bit about them, and then the first meeting was always about what is it they were looking for, what's working for them now, you know, what are you doing, is it working, where is it not working, and what do you need to have it be better. And when that sort of opens people up, and then they start talking about, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that, and I go, okay, well, what if I could show you something that would help you with that? Would you be interested in looking? And people never say no.
Yeah.
So it's always first about asking all those questions, and we call it WIFM, what's in it for me, asking all the questions to them to find out what it is that's working for them and what's not working for them. And a lot of the people that I approached were high up in their careers and businesses and everything. They're the ones that had the real problems, and no one ever asked them. Everyone just expected that they knew what to do, and they were the ones that had the problems. And say, well, we know what's working for you. Oh, well, this works. Oh, that's excellent. You know, was there anything that isn't working? Well, yeah. And they just start straight away. It's not the first 2 or 3 questions you ask. It's the next one after that. That's when you get what's really bothering them, what's missing. And these new products that are coming out are going to fit into a lot of those problems that those people in business have.
Yeah.
I mean, the manager side of it alone is just, you know, fantastic. You go in and ask someone who's got a business, you know, what's not working? You know, do you have this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Oh, no, you can't do that, and here you can't. They're going to say that because they can't do it.
Yep.
Well, what if I could show you something that will do all that for you in the one place? Of course they're going to look.
Yeah.
So I just say it's about asking questions first.
Yeah. And providing a solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that happened in Project Titan is in our frenzy of trying to get eyeballs on the product and the opportunity, we got a little bit away from being the problem solvers that we were told to be. You know, it was all about just getting eyes on the opportunity, and I think the more we focus on doing just what Judy talked about, you know, kind of interviewing people a little bit, finding out what it is they're looking for, and then providing them the opportunity to fix those things. Project Titan will fix most of those things that they're talking about, and then that's where we can go with it. It'll be easier when you can kind of talk more about what it is, but it's you know, you got to solve people's problems, otherwise they're not interested.
Well, that's just it, and I think that's the issue that we have kind of right now. I think you just nailed it there, is that all we can do is we have to be the salespeople right now. Mm-hmm. That's what we have to be right now, because we've got a gag order on talking about what the products are. And, you know, in order to provide a solution, you have to be able to let people know what the solution is. In our case here, we can't say anything. We have to get them to sign the dotted line first, and that sometimes can always be a struggle, right?
But if you tell people, I think if you tell people though that you've got the solution for their problem, even though you say, well, I can't tell you what it is, but if you sign the NDA and go, look, this is what you're looking for. I think we just got away from that sort of slant, and it was more about, hey, look how much money you can make in a short period of time. So I think if we blend those two things together a little bit more, even without the ability to say it, say, hey, look, this will solve the problem that you're telling me you're having.
Yeah.
And you just sign the NDA and you'll find out all about it, and then you'll come back and talk to me, and you know, and then we can talk more about how I can help you solve your problem. But I think that's the slant we need to move a little bit more into.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing too, when I'm sort of talking to someone, and they say, or you realise that it's not for them, or they say, oh no, I don't think that's for me. I go, oh, well, that's fine. You know, it's not for everyone. Do you know anybody who is looking for this? So if you can get a referral off them, do you know anyone that's in business that has these sort of problems?
That's great, Judy.
They'll always know someone. I mean, when I worked for myself and it was commission only, you had to make sure that every conversation you had with someone, you came out with either another conversation to have with them, or someone else to go and have a conversation with. And people love to give you referrals. You know, if you say, oh, this might not be for you, and you tell them all about it, and you know, first you find out what their problem is, and I think this would be great for you. And if they say no, that's fine too. Do you know anybody else that has this problem? Do you know anybody else that's looking for this? They'll always give you a name.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to ask.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All you do is ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Trish, anything you want to add to this? You've been kind of quiet.
She's muted herself.
Yeah, muted. Yeah, no, it's just pretty awesome that we have this ability. Like, if you look at 20 years ago, there wasn't really a lot of options except to knock on doors and
That's right.
And with my offline business, that's kind of the way that it has to be. Where I live, it's kind of a rural area, and a lot of people aren't really savvy on the internet. So with my offline business, I don't get a lot of results unless I actually pick up the phone or go knock on doors. But with this, it's just amazing because it's so geared towards this kind of community. So definitely, all the resources they provide us with are amazing, and they just keep getting better. Sorry, stuff going on.
We're getting some echo here. I'm just trying to figure out.
But yeah, it's awesome to be part of a community that's always making things better. Like, I've been here for a long while. I've seen all the transitions, new products come and go, and they're always tweaking and improving. Sometimes things don't work, but right now I think they've got it really streamlined to a point where this is something that anybody can use for practically anything. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's a mindset that will carry you to success in absolutely anything you want to try to do.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, there's so much that we've come across here today that just, you know, it's making me think what I need to do to change my marketing today. This was a very, very good hangout, by the way, so thank you guys for all your input here, because you know, even me personally, I think, like Mark said, I think we all may have got off track a little bit onto what the actual direction was, and we kind of just faltered a little bit. And sometimes that can happen. You know, everybody gets excited about the kind of money that's being made, and then, you know, a lot of times people want to have proof. You get that out there, oh, well, prove how much money you're making, that sort of thing, right? So sometimes you've got to go out there and show that kind of proof, but when that happens, sometimes it gets you away from what the actual message is, right? And what we're coming out with Project Titan is a massive, massive messaging product. Okay, it hits a niche that basically impacts any type of business that's out there, on or off the internet, and this is the one thing I think we need to focus a little bit more on, is providing that valued service that this thing is going to be providing. So, any thoughts? Mark?
I always have a thought.
I think we need to know our why.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just think I don't think we went awry. I think just some of the excitement just steered us off track a little bit. But you know what? Going back to Tracy Walker's Ready, Shoot, Aim. So we shot, and we realized that now we just have to re-aim on, you know, the direction that we want to go and tweak it and modify it. We didn't shoot behind us. We shot straight, and we're just a little bit, you know, 1 degree off, and tweak it and bring it back straight. That's all.
There you go. Perfect. So.
And on that, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, top of the hour. So you know what? I appreciate it, but I don't want to go any longer than that. I want to try and keep these things to an hour. So thanks for everybody's input here today. You guys put a lot of things inside this noggin here today. So man, it's hard to keep stuff in here sometimes. So I appreciate that. So thanks everyone, and all the listeners who are out there as well for listening in. Hopefully you got some value out of this today. I know I certainly did. So, you guys have a great rest of the day. We'll see you all tonight on the call at 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that call. Be there tonight. Whoever sent you to this Hangout today, get back to them for their link to that Hangout tonight so you can get on that thing. We're 36, actually less than 36 hours away from the closing of the cart for Project Titan. If you're on the fence right now, it's time to get off the fence. If you need some tweezers, go get it to get the splinters out, but get off that fence and hop into this thing here, because it's going to be something big that you're definitely going to want to be a part of. Okay, so panels, thank you very much for joining me here today, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. So take care.
Thanks, Carl. We appreciate you, bud.
Thanks.